well, pretty much more than halfway in this movie, I'm still really fucking bored because you got, your throwbacks, your back and forth, your medical or your stupid science jargon, and your stupid, really lacking suspense, and there's no real horror. You just had some gore with that stupid surgery scene, and we need somewhere to go. So Shaw gets up out of the hospital bed, something that might take weeks to heal from, and lumbers down the hall to find Big Shock, Senior Wayland. And he's been on the ship the whole time, and David has been his little bitch. And Bitchface, of course, comes over, in the most sappiest, in the most sappy, TV drama kind of nature, and comes up to his hand as he sits and has this line of, oh, well, the king will only reign for so long, and even he must die, or some shit like that. And then finishes the line with, Father. And again, what's the shocker? She is, assigned to this ship to watch over people, and she had to be connected to Wayland in some way. She's a blonde. David's a blonde. Again, it really would be nice if our hypothesis came to play that she was actually, a hermaphrodite that couldn't accept Wayland, or couldn't accept being the heir of Wayland Industries because she was a hermaphrodite, not a real male. But no, that would be, again, too interesting. Wayland doesn't really give a shit, Senior. He's just sort of hanging on by a thread. He just woke up, and David has what he believes to be the answer for eternal life, as Wayland wants. He wants to live forever as Guy Pearce in really shitty old makeup. Because he thinks that our creators, if they created them, have the answer to defeating death. Because that makes sense. Because, I would think that even, if we wanted to go with the Christian God sense, he made us thinking, there's one secret button out there. There's one method that'll help you live forever, but I'm not going to give it to you. If you believe in that kind of thing. So, he suits up, David suits up, Bitchface suits up, and they're going to be heading out for the control room. And Shaw gets taken with them, even though she's in so much pain, and the drug killers are, wearing off, but, she seems to be trucking pretty well for a woman who got an alien baby squid ripped out of her body. So there's that. So they make it to the control room. Basically, David reveals that, they can wake up the leftover, or the 3 remaining engineers, and they can get to talk to them, because David knows their language, and David knows this, and David knows that, and David's fucking evil. Because, again, he betrays the entire group for his dad. And even Shaw and David had this discussion, it's one of the more profound lines in this movie, which is rare, but they're talking about the existence of God, and, David being a robot, asks Shaw, well, why were we created as an android? And Shaw says, well, we just wanted to. And then David replies smartly with a, well, imagine asking God that, and he just said if he wanted to. How distraught would you be? And Shaw just sort of and basically ask why David is doing this, and David says, because I want to kill my dad. And it goes against the laws of robotics. I mean, something that seemed to be followed pretty well in the last Aliens movie, and when a robot didn't do what it was told, it was profound in previous movies, or when it's done in science fiction, it's actually done better. But usually with the law of robotics, you stay to the law. And following your creator is what you do. But, hey, dreams are dreams. Okay, so they wake up the Amazonian motherfuckers, and they get this weird moment where he looks over them, And, you know, David is asking, like, why were we created? And Waylon wants to know, why, how can I live forever? And, you know, get this fucking makeup off me. And the Amazonian basically puts a hand on David very, very, very tenderly and just sort of, like, pulls David's head off. And he sprays with the white goop shit that all androids have here. It's not... I have no idea what the hell that is or what that means in a sci-fi sense. You know, you can just inform me later. But... obviously, they don't want... like, the engineers don't want the humans. They like, created this facility to basically get rid of humans. That's what the egg things are for. The giant structure that they're in right now turns out to be a spaceship. So, the humans run, actually, Waylon dies, Bitchface dies, and the big motherfucker gets to the control panel and begins to make their giant structure, which was a ship, start to lift, and they can go out and basically destroy the Earth. Shaw manages to escape in time, again, making pretty good time for someone who was just cut open, but hey, the future. She manages to get out of the structure. Actually, no, Bitchface isn't dead yet. This is where it gets really stupid. Actually, I'm sorry, Bitchface was on the Prometheus the whole time, and she's freaking the fuck out because the ship is rising, and she doesn't know what to do. And this is when the technical achievement of this certain spaceship, of this Prometheus, comes into play because, you know, Shaw tells them that they need to stop this giant spaceship because it's going to destroy the Earth. So the captain's like, well, we don't have any weapons, so what can we do? Oh, I know, let's ram the fuck into it. Like, you would like, a spaceship should have weapons. In sci-fi, why doesn't a spaceship have weapons? Like, I know this is a research trip, but what happens when shit goes down? Do you have weapons? In this case, no. So they find that the best course of action is to fly the Prometheus into this giant half-donut spaceship, which is a really, really stupid design, by the way. As a person, not just a sci-fi fan, not as a fantasy fan, but as a person, like a donut with a bite in it right there. Like, something like that. I mean, hand aside. Yeah. So, Shaw is racing back to the ship. The ground is quaking because they're lifting this all up, and Bitchface goes to an escape capsule rather than her own room and basically bails. And here, again, another technological another great aspect of this fucking ship is that the escape pods do nothing. They're meant for space, so you can just sort of fly out and go somewhere. Like, just into the void of space, because this escape pod comes out and it crashes into the ground. Whoop-de-fuck. Like, I'm so, like, glad she was able to get away from the danger. So, Shaw is running, and Bitchface gets out of her capsule, and they both start running because of, you know, the ground quaking beneath them, or whatever have you. And, you know, Prometheus being captained by the black guy, he just sort of takes it as a, well, I guess this is it, guys. And the Asian guy's like, you know, yeah, I guess so. The white guy is like, well, I'll be sure to get you that drink in your next life. And the Asian guy is like, yep. And they're taking this whole suicide pact really, really well. And they crash. They explode into the donut ship. And the donut ship collapses. And it's a really, really stupid moment. Because we didn't care about anyone on that. We didn't care about the captain. We didn't care about Asian guy and not Asian guy who were doing the assistant flying of the ship. And the Prometheus is destroyed. There goes the movie. The title of the movie, gone. Like, without any reference to most mythology other than the fact that Prometheus helped humanity. And this Prometheus, this ship, didn't. Did not. Completely did not.